Hey there, I'm Terrie, and I'm the intuitive healer for folks who have anxiety and want to access their soul evolution and intuition. There's more than meets the eye here as we chat and hang out in these episodes that have spiritual, esoteric, multidimensional, somatic, quantum techniques, tools, and tips to help you get unstuck and move you forward in your day-to-day life. So join me in discovering your path to help you clear anxiety of the past, align your energy to the present, and create your new future. Well, hello there. How's your heart? How's that wonderful, dynamic, beautiful heart of yours? I hope it's well. I was reminded today about the breadcrumbs of our soul. And so I thought I would just hop on here and just record some information for you guys. Oftentimes I am asked, well, how do I know if something that just pops into my mind is something I should do or not do? So in other words, I get a calling, or there's this inkling, or all of a sudden out of the blue, there's this inspiration to do something. How do I know if I should do it or not, right? So first of all, I call those the breadcrumbs of the soul, right? So people who are highly sensitive tend to be highly emotional. Remember, energy in motion. And a lot of the times that also means that they are creative, right? Which means information is downloaded from the higher soul into the auric field, into the physical body, right? So these little breadcrumbs of the soul that I call them, are they real? Are they not real? Should I follow them? Should I not follow them? Ultimately, it's your decision, right? Do you follow it? Do you not follow it? But the question is, if I follow it, what happens? Right? And that's where we have to have some sort of faith in the divine and trust in the divine, that if we follow through on an inkling, a calling, a breadcrumb of the soul, what's going to happen? What does it look like? What does it smell like, taste like, feel like, sound like? And that's when we start to get entangled with our humanity. And then judgment happens. And then fears start popping into our heads. So this one little inkling, this one little breadcrumb, this one little idea just sort of popped into our head. And now we're just like rolling in anxiety energy, right? Because how do we even know that it's ours? As an empath, we're always receiving and downloading data, but is it ours or is it not ours? So here's the thing. Follow it or don't follow it. So you got to make a choice or a decision. Right? Am I going to follow this? Am I not going to follow this? If you make the choice and the decision not to follow that breadcrumb, that's okay. There's no judgment. That's a choice you get to make. That's a certain timeline you have now activated. And if you do decide to follow it, that is a timeline you have activated. Right? So there is no right or wrong. But these breadcrumbs of the souls oftentimes will keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back because there's something in them that needs action taken on. Does that make sense? Action taken on? There needs to be some action taken, right? Even if you're not completely and totally fulfilling that breadcrumb or, that calling. So maybe it's worth exploring, right? So maybe we should start not saying we're going to follow through on the entire process of whatever that breadcrumb or that inkling or that calling is, but explore it. Because in exploration is the frequency and the energy of curiosity, which helps neutralize fear. And when there's too much fear, we're going to have anxiety, right? Because as a spiritual empath, my friend, you, me, we have a lot of excess energy in our mental bodies and our emotional bodies, which of course affect our physical bodies and therefore operate more out of anxiety. So we've got to balance that. We've got to regulate it. We got to manage it, right? And we do it through moving the energy through the body. So how do you do that? You explore whatever this inkling or this calling or this breadcrumb is, right? Let me give you an example. I just had some huge expenses that I had to pay off this week. And so what that's doing is it's triggering money anxiety, right? So here I am looking at the reality of what my bank account is actually saying, and I don't like it. The numbers are too low. They're too low. It's not something that I used to, and it's triggering a survival instinct of me, right? Which is, oh my God, I'm going to die if I don't have enough money. And in my mind, whatever that number is, there has to be that minimum amount in order for me to feel safe and secure, right? So what happens is that now the money anxiety starts to get triggered. So here comes a survival coping mechanism of freeze, right? Or fawn. Those happen to be mine. I don't know what yours are. Yours could be avoidance. Yours could be fawn. Yours could be freeze, flight, whatever. However you respond. So one of the things I started to take review of, because again, I know how energy works and I understand the mechanics of it. Not the woo-woo-ness of it, the mechanics of it. I understand that I've been working very, very, very hard on creating. It's been a lot of tech stuff that I'm doing to set myself up for future business systems, I guess you can call it. I've been using a lot of my masculine energy to learn and to implement, that I haven't been giving love to the creative side of myself, the connection side of myself, the nurturing side of myself. But you see, I have to be aware of the fact that that's happening. And that happened this morning, which is what is inspiring me to actually record this for you guys, right? So I sat there and I'm like, well, what's happening? Okay, I'm doing. Not enough being. And when I am being, it's not authentic. Excuse me, right? So a lot of masculine energy. And as we know, the only thing that brings coherence or balance is like the opposite frequency because we live in duality, right? So that means I have to start bringing more feminine energy. One of the things that I do to bring in feminine energy is meditation. Because what meditation does is it unites and it connects the higher soul to the lower soul, which is the entangled part of the human, which only sees reality as it is. Excuse me. Rude. So what's happening is that I'm highly activating and I'm working off of my masculine energy, and I'm not in my feminine, which my core is feminine energy. And so I'm out of alignment. And with that, there's no replenishment of my energy because it's leaking. It's going out. Granted, I am completely and totally focused on something right now, which is fine. You want to have that one pointedness because that's what gets you to the next place, right? So the thing is what came to my mind was that I wasn't meditating enough. What I've been doing is a lot of purging. So I've been doing a lot of exercises, energy exercises to release, 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 let go, let go, let go, let go, let go, release, let go. But there hasn't been any replenishment. Receive, 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 sit still, be still. And it hit me this morning, and I got this breadcrumb that dropped into my awareness. And that is that I need to meditate more. So when you're doing a lot of energy work and you're balancing your life energetically, you're getting into alignment so that you can access your higher soul, be of service to other people, and live out your purpose. You have to understand all of the dynamics that are going on. And one of the things that I realized was that I was doing too much purging and cleaning and clearing and cord cutting and all of the fun things, right? I'm not doing enough meditation. So I said, okay, what are we going to do? We're going to go back to the basics. And this all started from a breadcrumb, from a calling from an inkling that said, maybe you should meditate, right? Maybe you should meditate, Terrie. Because what good am I to you if I'm not in balance and if I'm not aligned and if not, I'm not in my purpose, which is to help serve. So I have to consistently and constantly remind myself of my true divine nature. And I've been kind of out of alignment with that. So I said, okay, Terrie, it's time to meditate. Time to meditate. So go back to the basics. And what I chose to do was explore that calling, that inkling, that breadcrumb. Now, I don't know what's going to happen because of it. Maybe it'll then, once I get into that alignment and I balance out that energy, maybe more breadcrumbs will show up and say, hey, do this. And then, other things will start happening. I don't know what ultimately is going to happen if I follow this breadcrumb, which is meditate. Okay, fine, Terrie, meditate. Great. Yay. But I'm going to go in with this curiosity to explore, well, what could happen? I mean, there's so many things that could happen, right? So if you get a calling, if you get an inkling, or you get a breadcrumb of your soul, are you going to follow it? Are you going to explore it? Because you don't know where it's going to lead. And you don't have to know where it's going to lead. You have to understand this. You don't have to know where that creative inspiration is going to lead you. You don't have to already be at the end. That is the anxiety telling you, oh, well, if I do this, I can actually monetize this, or I can do this, or I can do that. No, you don't know what ultimately is going to happen. But as long as you follow it, you can at least go into like another timeline, or you can go into another storyline, or now you go into another direction that you weren't in before. And if you approach it with curiosity and you explore it, you have no idea what opportunities could potentially open up for you. And you don't have to. As a matter of fact, if you try and assign the outcome of how that inkling is going to be fulfilled, you'll most likely be wrong, because thoughts are not facts, right? Feelings are not facts. You could be wrong, and you could also be limiting your potential, right? So you get to choose whether you're going to follow that breadcrumb, follow that inkling, or not to. And if you do choose to follow it, are you going to assign the path, the direction it goes in? Because I have no idea if I do my meditation today, which is, there's no if, I'm going to. There's two on my mind that I want to take part in. When I do those, I do not know how my energetic frequency is going to be after that. And remember, like attracts like. right? So I don't know what opportunities I could start magnetizing to me, or I could just start lining myself up with, because I chose to follow an inkling, because I chose to follow a breadcrumb. And it doesn't matter what it is. Don't judge it, you guys. Don't judge it. If it's, hey, go to the market, hey, go to the market, right? If it's, go rent a book from the library, go rent a book from the library, or at least explore it. The possibilities. Because the divine works through us in many, many strange and weird ways. Oftentimes ways we are not even aware of, cannot even fathom. You hear stories all the time of just weird coincidences and synchronicities. And one thing leads to another thing that leads to another thing and leads to another thing. Because remember, as a human, what you're doing is you are evolving your soul, your higher soul. So your higher soul is using your human, known as you, to experience physical reality in the material world, to learn, so that your human you teaches your higher soul. So the more you explore and follow, if you choose to, remember, this is all a choice. If you choose to, you are giving your soul opportunities to expand and learn and grow. Even if sometimes whatever your human is part of sucks, or is really hard to get out of, or is just experiencing crappiness, or just wonderful, beautiful love, or joy, or whatever it is. Whatever you as a human are experiencing, you are evolving your soul. And here's the thing. Your soul, your higher soul, it is limitless. It is infinite. Your human, known as you, has an expiration date, but your soul doesn't. So your soul does not care how long it's going to take to evolve. So that's why it'll keep taking on a new human, so that human that it drops part of itself into can teach and help grow and expand and evolve the soul. So why not follow these inklings? You never know. You never know. And that's how you should approach it. I have no idea. I'm curious. What's going to happen? What if hey, human Terrie, what if you decide to go and do some meditation today? You haven't done it in a while. You've been purging too much. You've been cleaning and clearing too much. So you're out of balance. Energetically, you are not receiving. You're not taking in energy. So that is my message for you today, is follow the breadcrumbs of your soul. Again, you can choose to or not choose to, but explore it. Don't assign it. You have no idea where it's going to lead you, but you are helping, evolving, teaching, growing your higher self, your higher soul. Even if you don't know the outcome, right? Don't assign the path. Just follow it. Okay? All right. This was just something, again, this came as an inspiration. So I just wanted to share with you, what's going on. Like, for example, how I go ahead and manage things. Like, I myself had this hit, right? So I just wanted to share with you what I do. How do I manage and balance my energy? I become aware, conscious, and mindful of how I've been operating. And my operating system has been more in the masculine energy, which is do. So today what I'm going to do, is I want to, as hard as it is to step out of the idea of controlling how my experience is going to be, I'm going to do this meditation because it was a hit. Because it was an inkling, and I don't know what's going to happen. But let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's see where it leads. I don't know. I'm curious. I'm in the mood to explore. And that's more feminine energy. and I need a little bit more balance here. So I hope you got something out of this. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day or evening. I don't know where you are in this big, bad, beautiful world of ours, but I hope your heart is okay. Take care of it. It's a beautiful, precious thing. And as a spiritual empath, I know that it's hard to navigate this human experience, but I guarantee you're doing the best that you can. And as you're doing that, just keep going. Keep going. All right? All right, guys, stay connected. Well, our time in this now moment together has ended, but another now moment is on its way. Thank you so much for joining me in this human journey and listening to this podcast, The Portal with Terrie Huberman. I sure hope you're getting something out of it. I'm here to help you clear anxiety from the past, align your energy into the present, and help you create your future. My prayer for you is to find the peace and calmness in any given now moment so you can recognize when blessings are afoot and you get to choose your next adventure. Be curious and stay connected. You can always find me at terriehuberman.com. Bye now.